Welcome back, everyone, to another all-out NRL fantasy podcast. I'm joined by Mick and Macca. How are we, boys?
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks, Dor.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Dor.
Look, a very popular podcast from last year, the Buy, Hold, Sell. They are also very popular templates as well with everyone. But we are back for 2025.
Probably the most contentious talking point, at least from our posts.
Yeah.
A lot of hate.
A
lot of positives as well. So
Yeah.
we embrace everything.
Comes with the territory, boys.
Apologise for my nasally voice as well.
That's all right, bro.
Been a bit sick lately.
No problems at all, Mick. Look, let's get straight into it, boys. I know the listeners and watchers will be listening and watching very
Intently.
keenly. Yes, and intently. Jamie Humphreys, boys, the man on everyone's mouth. Look, 403K, 75 points last week, starting halfback, and then keeps his jersey this week. Look, -6, 75 points. What are we thinking?
I think he's pretty much a must get this week.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Incredibly low break even. I mean, he got 75, and that a lot of that was just off base.
And with the Dodd news that he's carrying that injury, I think he's playing reserve grade anyway. So
That's his concern. Like, is he going to keep the spot? Even if he doesn't keep the starting jersey, I think they might put him to 14.
We could even go to lock as well. You never know. I know Bennett's very keen on Hubner, but
He's jacked.
he's
He's
huge.
huge.
yeah, he's huge.
The shoulders on the man.
Yeah.
Hitting the tin room.
Well, look, Dodd's been named in jersey 19 as well. So I think that's a huge plus for Humphreys that Dodd's been named at 19. Look, South won last week. I think it's very clear buy, boys.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to go Metcalf straight to Humphreys.
Yep.
I think our logic for getting Metcalf was fine, but a new, better player has emerged who's going to make more money, probably going to score better, so just do it. Worth a trade.
Yep. On to the next one, boys. Tommy Gilbert, the all-out team did have Big Tommy, and wow, what a stint in his first actual NRL game back. Really solid performance, 65 points, a break even of 19 this week, priced at 529K, dual eligibility with mid and edge. Look, for me, I think he's a must-have. He's in 29.2% of teams. It should be 50% by the end of this round, in my opinion.
Yeah, I started with Gilbert. I'm very happy I did. I think he made like 58 or 59 tackles or something. Just an absolute workhorse.
Just a real work,
Yeah.
59 tackles.
And he after the ACL injury, he looks pretty much the same as he did before he got injured. So
better
that
than a PPM, like
yeah,
1 point a minute.
Yeah. So
I didn't start with him, but I'm definitely looking to get him in. I think Spill may need to temper their expectations, though. He's not going to get 65 every week.
yeah,
Like,
but
he made 59 tackles.
I think he might. What do you play? 56 minutes.
Yeah.
I think his minutes might go up after that.
Yeah. If we think 55 to 60 minutes, he's priced at about 41. If he hovers around a 50 average, he's still got tons of value to get in.
Yeah, he'll make 30K, 34K
That's
week.
worst case scenario if he averages 50. I think it's going to be more than that, personally.
Yeah.
But
I think if that's a safe floor,
Yeah.
I reckon is 50 points is a safe floor for someone
he's got
like Tom
attacking
Gilbert.
upside as well. You better believe it.
Yeah.
I'd
He's only going to get better.
say he's going to average 50.
I reckon he's going to get better. Gilbert, like
agree,
first
Dor.
game back, ACL, I think.
I'm getting Pat Carrigan vibes.
70
first
this
year-
weekend.
I'm getting Paddy Carrigan first year back from ACL surgery vibes.
It's not going to be like 70 points every weekend, but I just think like there's definitely a lot of money to be made, and I think he can get up to like a
Definitely get in.
800K, maybe 800K is a bit of a push, but at least up to around 700K, and it might be that perfect, player to leap into someone like a Payne Haas or someone like that.
That's my plan, Dor.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next man. Wow. Obviously, Vegas was a couple of weeks ago, but one of the players from Vegas, Big Red, Corey Horsburgh. Look, 57 points, break even of 31 this week, priced at 566K, and also with the news of Tarpany being suspended for 2 weeks from Vegas. Look, Big Red is must-have territory.
Yeah,
He's a behemoth.
If you didn't start with him, which I think a lot of people surely did, I'd be bringing him in as well. Him or Gilbert, boys. What do you reckon if you had to only bring one in?
Oh,
That's a tough question.
that is tough. When's their buys? You can't go wrong with either or.
Both of them, I think, are going to play pretty similar minutes. I think they're both.
Is it silly to say Horsburgh because he's going to have more minutes the next couple of weeks. And if he's getting 57 in less minutes, you know what I mean?
Well, I think in the short term, probably Horsburgh, but I think in the long term, I think I'd be going with Gilbert.
You almost can't go wrong
fair.
with either, though.
No,
be honest.
they're both great options. 59 minutes for Horsburgh, 56 for Gilbert last week. Look, they're both, as I said, with Tarpany out, Horsburgh could play like 60, 65 minutes. He's looking in great shape, career best, for sure. So, yeah, we're all keen on that, on Corey Horsburgh. On to his a teammate, Mick. I know you're very, very keen on this man, Zac Hosking's brother. Let's have a look at big Zac attack. I know that he's not playing those 80 minutes, brother, but 62 points.
Well, I think
in
I
Vegas.
said in the All Out story that like everyone was steering clear of him because they were scared he wasn't going to get 80. Even when he doesn't, he still scores incredibly.
62 points in 66 minutes from Vegas. So
I think those other guys we talked about probably bigger priority than Hosking, but if you need an edge.
yeah, he's 601K, so
If you're-
slightly a bit higher than those.
If you're worried you missed out on him, fine to get in, I think.
100%. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Anything on Hosking's Macca?
Oh, yeah, I think he's a great option as well. I did want to see 80 minutes personally, so I won't be bringing him in. But as Mick said,
He's going to get you a good score anyway.
and he's got attacking upside. Like he finds line breaks, he scores tries. So yeah, you can't go wrong with him either.
Yep, on to another second row, boys, and one that the all-out team gobbled and enjoyed this last weekend was a big Haumole Olakau'atu, 69 points, break even of 38 this week, 691K, 11.4% of teams, boys. Look, I don't have him in my own team.
I think that 11% of teams is not the greatest representation. I think he's like in terms of the top 1,000, it's pretty rough to say at the moment because a lot of the top 1,000 teams would have him because he went so well. But in a few weeks, he's going to be a great pod.
Yeah.
He was one of my first pick boys just because of the Manly draw is pretty soft. That right edge is just like every time they sweep around with Tommy there, DCE, Garrick, it's just electric.
Could Manly get minor premiers?
I definitely think that they're definitely going to make the 8 in my opinion, and looking like a real solid top 4 side.
Another thing to note as well, Dora, is I actually didn't play 80. I think he got pulled with
they gave him
10 minutes ago maybe.
They gave him a rest, 67 minutes, so 69 points in 67 minutes.
Yeah, so that could have been 80.
Oh,
Boys, I'll segue into this next guy because I know you're keen on Kini.
yes.
I'm not getting him. But what do you do? What was your theory behind getting Kini?
My theory.
I mean, it's pretty obvious why.
Well, he's such a nice watch from a fantasy standpoint. That's one reason. He just gets stuck in, breaks tackles, offloads, line breaks, you name it. And I've actually changed my fantasy name to Absolute Absolute Kinima. Because he was
Goofy name.
Yeah, delete that. He was also one of my first picked, even with the buy. I just love him as a player, love him as a fantasy option. Look, if you want to bring in someone that's a pod that you'll just love to watch,
My concern,
past him.
maybe you two don't see it, is AJ and Campbell in the halves. Respectfully to them, great ball runners, bit of a hog.
Hogs.
bit of hogs.
I don't see the problem because
Yeah,
I
but
feel like he gets his points just from
They've got to
taking hit ups and all
like
that.
all halves. Let's look
I would
back.
have liked
let's,
Foran to be in there.
let's look to last Sunday, right? If we look to last Sunday, Storm versus Eels, right? Munster, Hughes go straight through. Who's the person on the inside? It's the fullback, Pappenhausen. I think Kini is going to benefit from those halves, making those breaks and being a good fullback and supporting. You could see Pappenhausen scored most of his points all last week from either supporting or benefiting
Might have
from the
convinced me with
inside,
that, door.
from the inside player.
Last year, he averaged 50 on the dot when playing fullback.
How many points was Foran responsible for giving? Like, I doubt he was just literally passing the ball. Like, I think you're overthinking that, to be honest.
Like you said, Macca.
Is he running 220 meters a game again? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I just think
It's insane.
I just really think that another thing is, like Macca said, really nice to watch. But I think the Titans are going to be a really enjoyable like fantasy super coach watch this year. So
I'd love to know what his ownership would be if they didn't have the bye first round. I reckon it'd be like 10%.
Yeah, it's
Second
only
year
like
syndrome is a
2.9.
thing. We're going to see it with Galvin, unfortunately.
yes. Do you want me to segue into the next player? I know you're quite keen on him, Mick, and I actually was a bit keen on him
I was
as well.
very keen on
Lindsay Smith. Yeah, 623K.
Mate, get stuck in.
Priced at we got 67 points in Vegas. Break even of 30. He's in 1.6% of teams, so a real pod from Lindsay Smith. Someone's had to step up in the Fisher Harris absence, and Lindsay Smith is that guy.
I mean, he's an Australian representative,
Exactly right.
which was, I think he
I
was
think it
always
was well
going to.
deserved.
He was always going to improve as well, and now he's got that role.
60 minutes he
If
played.
he sees 60 every week, 623K,
Yep.
could be a beautiful pod.
I think he's a really good option, but the other question is, do we come back to is would you be going Lindsay Smith over someone over Tom Gilbert or a Corey Horsburgh?
Do you have a big cock?
Yeah.
If you do, you'd go for the pod in Lindsay Smith.
Yeah. No, I don't hate it. I think Lindsay Smith's a great option. On to from up North Queensland. Look, they didn't get the chocolates on the weekend. Real destroyed the Cowboys did get. But look, this man, Johnny Bateman, a few concerns from a lot of people is Bateman going to play 80 minutes? And the question is, yes. Nanai is the one that is going to be, he lost his spot this week, as you would have heard Cord and Bence discuss in the TLT podcast. But look, Bateman looks like he's set for 80 minutes every week. He got 57 points on the weekend in a well-beaten.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. In a team that got comprehensively beaten, that's a pretty good sign that he's getting that score there.
36 break even, 6.7% of teams. He's 607K. I think he's
if you can't afford like an Ola or someone like premium, he's a pretty good option to go for.
I think he's
I regret not starting with him. I had him in my team for like
so did I,
the
brother.
whole preseason, then just changed.
One Ollie Potasnik took me out of him.
I leveled up. I thought I leveled up to Preston, but maybe not.
You never know, brother. It's only round one.
We'll get to Preston later.
Plenty of rounds to go. Anyway, on to the next man, Mick. AJ Brimson. Obviously, the Titans had the bye in round one, but they're back this week against the Doggies. Break even of 36, 7.2% of teams. What are we thinking with Brimo?
Yeah, I thought he was a great option to start the year. I mean, even last year, only 2 times he played 5'8" last year, but he averaged 53 there.
482K is at a nice price.
People are struggling as well in the winger fullback department in terms of like you got
finding
a couple of
those,
cheapies
like,
there,
bottom
but
options,
yeah, if you're looking for like a mid-ranger, him and Greg Marzu are probably the only 2 options.
Yeah, Brimson's a bit cheaper than Greg the Leg.
I probably, if people are thinking about getting him, like, you could see how he goes this week, just with Campbell and the halves with him. How do the Titans look? But yeah, I think he's going to score well.
Anything on Brimson, Macca, or?
Brimson's just a wait and see for me. I love Brimson as a player, but yeah, I just want to see how the combinations go and if he stays healthy because he's got a bit of a history of getting injured as well. So
if you go back to
happy to wait and watch.
2022, he played there basically the whole season. They were like experimenting. I don't know what was going on in the year. Average 47. That's he played a lot of games there.
But yeah,
so.
you're right,
Yeah.
Dilla. The Titans going to score some points, so
Yeah,
he might be involved.
I'm looking forward to watching them play this
Imagine
weekend.
the Titans are just shit.
Again,
Everyone's like,
every year I project them to be like top 8 side, but they're just
this is the first time I'm actually convinced they're going to go well. And if they don't,
I think they'll go well.
time to move the franchise.
Anyway, let's continue. Let's
go
get
to
this.
Toowoomba.
Let's keep the ship moving. Toby Couchman and Emre Guler boys. I'm going to combine them together. So Couchman, look, 58 points on the weekend, break even of 27, 1.5% of teams. A real nice pot option. Another thing is as well, Couchman, he played 70 minutes on the weekend. I don't know if it had anything to do with his...
sadly, his brother went down.
His brother,
very
going down.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Before we talk about them, Emre Guler, he's 399K, 47 points on the weekend, break even of 16. He's only in 1% of teams as well, and he played 54 minutes. Got through a heap of work, 44 tackles. So I think they're both really good,
one of them,
options.
I got Couchman.
Yeah.
Extreme pod. 70 minutes surprised me, but
He won't play 70 again, but even
yeah, you
so.
got to factor in that, there was a HIA for DeBellin.
Yep.
Obviously, his twin brother went
Yeah.
down.
ACL. Yep.
Clemmer's coming back into the team. Blake Laurie just got added into the team. I think from that, Emre Guler is the one where the minutes suffer. I don't think Emre Guler's going to play what he played 50 odd. I think he's going to be like a 40-minute guy.
I don't think Couchman. Well, like you said, Couchman's definitely not going to be playing 70 minutes.
No.
I think he's more
55,
like a
60?
50 to 60 minutes. I reckon.
I think he's mid-50s, which still, he could still perform with those minutes.
He's obviously, don't prioritize him over like a Gilbert.
Nah.
No.
But I think he'll go at like 1 ppm if he's playing like.
So, in my
55.
opinion, from the players we've discussed in the mid position, I'd put him like third.
Look, I wouldn't.
I'd say like Gilbert, Horsburgh, Lindsay Smith if you want to make a big cock play.
Couchman's actually more expensive than Gilbert, so
Yeah, that's just the reasoning.
I wouldn't get Couchman over Gilbert, but
I
if you already
chose
have Gilbert.
I chose Couchman over Gilbert. Couchman went great, and I'm still sort of regretting it.
Yeah. Anyway, on to Marky Mark, boys, or Mark Nawaqanitawase. Look, I hope I
That
did
was
it
actually
well.
really solid.
That was close. Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't
so,
attempted yet.
Yes. No. So Marky Mark, look, 361K, 37 points last week in a well-beaten Roosters side. Break even 19. He's in 19.8% of teams, but like Mick said with Brimson, a lot of teams are looking for that cheap or mid-range sort of priced wing fullback, and he's probably he's 361K, so he's a pretty solid option.
I actually really like him. Like, he's a tackle buster. We know that.
Offload as well, I'm pretty
Roosters
sure.
got destroyed.
And
All they need is a Roosters, which I think the Roosters are going to be pretty bad. They versus Penrith this week.
6 tackle busts, 2 offloads.
Yeah, I'd definitely wait. Personally,
I agree.
But I wouldn't blame someone for bringing
See,
him.
if you wait a week, like you're saying, he smashes out like a 40, he's gonna
Yeah, how much does he go
he's gonna
up?
make 24K. So like I think I reckon you wait a week.
Like us, like the all-out team, we've got Ponga and Marzu. The Knights have the bye in round 4. I think if Marky Mark's gone great, I think he could be a little downgrade option.
Yeah, for someone like a Seyfarth or something.
Because
like
if he gets
that.
good ball in a game where the Roosters actually go well, he should score way better.
Yeah, 100%. Next one, boys. These are a few players that I think we want to really watch. But Hamish Stewart, again, touching on someone from the Red V, again could have benefited from the DeBellin HIA and Couchman, Ryan Couchman injury. Look, he got 42 points on the weekend. He's got a break even of 1. He's in 6.1% of teams. That's definitely happened due to his price point. But yeah, he played 43 minutes, so 42 points in 43 minutes. He really got through 38 tackles, so he really did work hard.
Yeah.
But I'm just concerned about with like this news of Clemmer with Ravalawa potentially going to
As
South.
Dragons fans, we'd much rather see Hamish Stewart on the bench
100%.
than someone like Blake
Yeah,
Laurie.
No,
Yeah, I rate him
With
highly.
respect to Blocker.
I rate him very highly, Hamish Stewart, but yeah, just a bit too much uncertainty.
definitely
around
if I think it's like one of those plays, Mick. If you're feeling really ballsy, you want to go it, and you need to get someone in low in that mid position.
Yeah.
I can't say no.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like everyone got Hubner. Stewart scored better than Hubner, but we know Hubner's keeping that role.
Yeah, because of
What's
Wayne
like-
Bennett's comments, we haven't really heard Shane Flanagan come out and
Yeah,
say
we just
anything.
don't know if he's keeping his spot. So I probably it's going to be frustrating when he doesn't get picked and he's a red dot for you.
Then on to the next man, big Tamale. Savelio
what?
Tamale. Look, 49 points in Vegas, break even of 5. As we said in the TLT podcast last week, he kept his spot, was keeping his spot this week due to the Savage suspension. Albert Hopewade has been named. on
We'd
the
like
wing.
to apologise to absolutely nobody.
No,
The mail was there.
The mail
Yeah,
was there.
Did make sense.
So look, 49 points, break even of 5, 329K, dual eligibility, center and wing fullback. Look, if you don't have him, boys, are you getting him in?
I mean, I don't know. I want to wait 1 week. I have him, but for the all-out team, I'm thinking, 1 week, and then we know for sure. If he goes stellar, simple one.
Well, because Savage is going to be back, definitely. He was probably the Raiders' best player in Vegas.
If you bought him this week and he got dropped, you'd be absolutely
livid.
yourself.
So, look, if he gets something like a 40 this week, he got 49 in Vegas. If he gets 40 this week, he's going to go up 39K.
And everyone's saying like, oh, why would he get dropped? He's so good. It's Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky doesn't go the conventional route.
No.
So I don't know what he's going to do.
But in saying that, though, I think if Tamale plays like he did in Vegas this week against the Broncos, I can't see him being dropped.
Maybe Albert Hopewadi's arrived and he's reinvigorated after having a kid.
Maybe his
child had
preseason's
changed. Childbirth changed him.
On to the next player, boys. Jack Cole. He keeps the spot. No Blaze to be found or to be seen.
Strange.
So, yes, interesting.
I hope Blaze is injured. Well, I don't hope he is. I just that sounds bad.
I see what
I
you're
hope the
saying.
reason he's not getting picked is because he's injured.
Yeah. 29 points Cole got in Vegas, break even of 12, 261K. He's in 36.9% of teams. I don't think this is right. I think there's better options than Jack Cole. Look, even though Sandon Smith scored probably the worst 44 points in fantasy
Still
history.
44 points.
It's still exactly right. It's still 44 points.
Underrated try scorer a bit, Sandon Smith, because he gets the ball, doesn't know how to set anything up, so he just runs.
Yeah, always gamble responsibly.
On to the next player. This man, Salesi Foketi, benefited, I think, from the Roosters' lack of depth and potentially the Radley HIA or Cat 1 failed concussion. Look, he scored 41 points on the weekend. He's got a break even of 2.
I was going to throw him in with in the same light as Kai O'Donnell, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Do you think they're retaining that starting position? Like Radley.
Well, Fogeti's still on the bench, but like, do you? I think what you're trying. I'm pretty sure
he's starting lock.
Oh no, he is too. Yeah, he
he's
is
starting
lock. Yeah, you are right.
The Roosters have a few people coming
Radley's
back.
coming back.
Yeah,
So
Spencer Leniu.
Radley should be back, I think, next week. Spencer Linew's back next week. Egan Butcher should be back soon.
I mean, to bring in Foketi, you have to be extremely high on the young man, which...
See, I'd rather go like...
You're 41.
Yeah.
Bench.
I'd personally rather...
there's being ballsy and then there's being silly. When we've spoken about all these other good options, I personally wouldn't be bringing him in.
It's only 256.
Yeah, I guess it's not the biggest risk if he's that cheap, but...
I like it.
Do it.
Yeah.
If he reverts back to that bench role, Spencer Leniu, who's he going to replace?
He's probably just going to take one of those guys off the bench, like Blake Steep or something like that.
And then he'll churn out decent points again off the bench.
No, you talk yourself into it.
If you got Royce Hunt, that's an obvious one.
Yes. Well, on to the next man, boys. Kai O'Donnell, edge, 250K. Look, I don't know what's the go with Nanai. I haven't really heard anything, but he hasn't been named. He's on the extended bench. So O'Donnell gets the start here. He's probably in for around like 60 minutes, I'd say, in Lawton to come on and play like around 20 minutes.
Is this a case of Peyton sends a message to Nene, drops him for 1 week, then brings him straight back?
Yeah, I think it could be, and give Kai a bit of a run.
Nanai's defense was really bad, but I think you're right.
I think we just watch this one, potentially see what happens next week, see how he goes this weekend. We wish him all the best as well, Kai, this 100%. Weekend. Look, that's all the buys for round 2. Let's move on to the holds. Some key ones here. Nicho Hynes, boys. What are we thinking with Nicho? Look, he didn't have the best Vegas. Look, dropped 26K. He got 41 points, so it wasn't like horrific.
Yeah. My argument is if you held him through the buy, why would you now sell him?
You mean like the buy is in like the week off?
Yeah. Like why?
Well, you can't trade. You couldn't have traded him out last week.
Yeah, my mistake.
So
I just think
what I more mean is if you started with him, like you obviously felt that he was going to go well.
Yeah, you had your reasoning.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think it's a clear hold.
Yeah, Sharks
against the Cowboys this week as well. He conceded
first
42
the best team.
points.
Now they go on to maybe wooden spooners.
Well,
he also got more touches than his other half.
Yeah. I think that Nicho definitely is a strong hold. I think he bounces back. Look, I don't know if he's going to get 75, but I think he can definitely go at least around 50 plus, especially against the Cowboys.
He may not get like the bigger base that he was used to, but I think he might have more chances sweeping around the back.
The other thing as well,
score more tries maybe.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Mick, as well as the other thing is I think the groin injury was limiting, like he didn't kick in Vegas. He didn't goal kick.
That's a worry.
So potentially now being back in that extended period, he could be goal kicking this week against the Cowboys. And look, if he gets goal kicking against Cowboys and the Cowboys don't turn up like they did last week until the last 20 minutes.
He could get 30 points
like
in goals.
He could really really dominate in that aspect. Anyway,
we'd probably fly through a few of these because they're obvious ones. Like
Harry Grant, 7-11.
He's going to be in your team. He's going to be in your team the whole year, Harry Grant. He's got good bye schedule.
It's basically better
after
as well.
this.
Yeah. So this is his bye, and then they've got a good break, a really good draw as well. I think it's a very easy hold for Harry Grant.
Same as Preston.
Yeah.
Preston.
He should average around 55.
Do not jump off Preston now. That was got no ball, all base. He'll score tries.
Yeah,
please,
missed a few tackles.
Please do not sell him.
42 points, break even to 58. Definitely not a sell. Good matchup against the Titans.
Hopgood.
I'm pretty sure he goes well against them as well.
Jermaine Hopgood's another one, a strong hold. The minutes were very good.
Yep.
He only had a stint off for like 8 minutes or something like that.
Dual eligibility as well, middle
They
got smoked. He had the most points for the Eels at 47.
Yep. 61 break even. It's nothing to be really panicking about, especially against the Tigers this week.
All he needs is he didn't have...
They just need the Eels to have the ball, brother.
He just needs to be in a competitive game.
Yeah, the Eels just need to have some ball, and Hopgood is going to go really well. On to some Wars boys that didn't really set the world on fire, but did a solid effort, was Fisher Harris and Barnett. Look, Fisher Harris, break even to 41, 51 points. Look, he played only 46 minutes. I think the minutes is the big thing with these two. So 46 minutes for Fisher Harris, and then Barnett, he scored 49 in 51 minutes, break even of 56. So both, I don't think there's anything really to panic about.
Concerned. I don't understand why Webster didn't give both of them more minutes when they were getting destroyed up the middle. They had Aaron Clark and Walker.
That's what I'm thinking. Is Aaron Clark and Walker with their like 40-odd minutes or whatever they're playing, is that eating into Fisher Harris?
It's delusional.
Shouldn't be. They should be playing like 30.
Look, I think it's a really good hold.
Yeah, I agree.
This week
it might be dumb from me. I don't have Gilbert. If Fisher Harris gets 45 minutes again, I might think about going Fisher Harris to Gilbert.
Yeah, I just think that what the Wars did in round one, it didn't work. So I'm thinking potentially that Webster might be like, okay, I need to give my middles, like they lacked meters as well. They, I'm going to give my Barnett and Fisher Harris, my leaders. I'm going to give them a few more minutes.
It's ridiculous that you have to realize that after a heavy defeat.
I mean, Barnett especially, like, he's fit as fiddle. Like, he can play 80 minutes on the edge. Like, Fisher Harris I sort of get, but Barnett should be playing.
On to the next man, boys. From the Storm, Stefano, look, 31 points. Wasn't really, I think, what everyone was hoping or expecting, I think, from round one. But because of the scoreline and that Storm dominance, look, he only played 42 minutes. So I think you've got to give him at least another week. Yeah. But look, me personally, I'm not going to say no to trading him out to someone like a Gilbert or a Horsburgh. Or, Lindsay Smith or Couchman. I'm not going to say no to trading him out because there is a chance that the Storm could do this to a fair few sides this year. We've already seen two teams in the Roosters and the Eels concede 50 points this year.
It's hard to rack up. Hard to rack up base stats when you're getting smashed by 50 points.
Exactly right.
At this time of the season, it's not necessarily a bad decision to go to someone like Gilbert for Stefano because it's like, what's the rest of year output? If you've genuinely changed your decision on that, you think, oh, yeah, I think I made a mistake with Stefano. I think Gilbert will average more. He's cheaper. That's fine to do.
Just have to be decisive about it.
Yeah.
On to the next man, boys. Alex Seyfarth. I know he's in a lot of our teams. Look, dual eligibility.
It's not his fault.
Middle and edge, 466. He got 29 points. He would have played 80, it looks like, without that HIA, but He did go off for that HIA, so didn't play
That's the one saving grace for me. The fact that he was going to play 80. That makes me want to keep him for one more week.
64
Only
minutes.
one factor to why he went bad, because Galvin's a hog.
Yeah, Galvin wasn't giving.
He's a good hog.
Very good.
Very good hog. He's a very good ball runner.
Yeah.
But for some,
give it to the edge backer.
Yeah, he's a hog for Seyfarth owners. Seyfarth owners want.
He's playing too much out of structure. Sometimes you just need to pass the ball early.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I think if Seyfarth doesn't go off for that HIA, I think he gets 40 points.
Yeah.
Do we worry, just quickly, more NRL related, do we worry that Luai and Galvin's a bit too similar? Like they're both so ball running centric.
I don't think so. I think they'll be all right. Luai can definitely organise the team. You saw that against in Penrith. And look, another thing is Coruscant's back. So that's a big thing. On to the next man. I know he's out this week with that HIA, boys, but Finefeuiaki, 39 points last week, 24 break even. Look, he played 54 minutes before he succumbed to that head knock.
I thought he was playing quite well, though. When I watched him.
I think I thought so as well, Macca. Look, if you look at how he went, 39 points in 54 minutes, like he was on for at least like 50 plus if he played 80. And there's a real chance that he could play. Look, Lemuelu actually suffered a fractured eye socket in that game, and he's going to be out for at least 4 weeks. So look, Finefeuiaki can definitely benefit. Potentially 80 minutes.
That's one week of pain for 3 weeks of strong value and good scoring.
I think I don't know. Lemuelu was really good last year, but it looks like he's taken a bit of a back burner under Wolf, and it seems like Finefeuiaki and Plath are going to be the ones that
Plath looked good.
that dominating. So on to the next one, the big one, Lukey Metcalf.
I think this one's very situational, Dor. If you want to go straight to Humphreys, by all means. If you have Humphreys, I think Metcalf can be held.
Yeah, give him another chance.
Just to see how he goes. We had our reasonings to get him.
Yeah.
He's the main half. They're not versing Penrith.
It's not like his break-even's out of control either. It's a break-even of 38. The other thing as well, like you said, they're not versing Penrith. They are versing Manly, but the good thing is it's back in New Zealand, so it's a home game. Should be a sellout. Plenty of Waz fans. I really think he can bounce back, and I'm glad that Webster's actually given him another opportunity to do so.
These 3 guys, I think, all under the same sort of bracket where Jaxon, Purdue, Isaiah Iongi, Peter Mamouzelos.
Well, Mamouzelos went the best out of those.
Yeah, they're all cheapies. They're going to make you money. They scored relatively fine, except for Purdue.
Well, you think about it, like you said, Iongi Storm dominated the Eels, so he was pretty good, but the Eels, Hopgood top score with 47 or whatever, so they barely did well. Mamouzelos will go all right. Potentially, it could be one to monitor with the Humphreys Dodd situation. Humphreys could end up at hooker or something, in a couple of weeks, but. Anyway, on to the sells, boys. That's our holds. Look, I don't know why this man's in so many teams. He hasn't really been a fantasy player, in my opinion, over his career. Look, Stephen Crichton,
12 points.
He got 12 points.
That's insane.
He's cramping, but he's never been fancy relevant.
He's in 15.1% of teams. I think people have...
Is it a casual thing? Like the casual fantasy player just goes...
Well,
casuals if you got him.
It could be that, or
He's
it could be it could be that if you look outside of fantasy, look, Stephen Crichton's one of the best centers in the game, but I think people are not looking at that, and then they're seeing him at that price, like a 400.
You got to look at the data, boys.
Yeah, if they're at 400, seeing him at 400
attention to the literature.
Yeah, literature,
and I think they've got him in. There's you could go someone we haven't mentioned, like a Shibasaki. There's Toya. There's Marky Mark. There's
I'd go to Tamale.
Or Tamale, yeah. There's plenty of options there that you can really go to in that center position.
I wouldn't have got him in the first place, really.
Look, he's in nearly 5% of teams. Look, he's been dropped.
It's pretty simple.
So
sell.
I think he's a sell, even if, like Macca said earlier in this podcast, if he comes back and dominates in weeks, I think you've still got to get rid of him. We've listed so many edge options that you could get. You could even go someone like a Jack Goz or someone like that if you're looking for someone really cheap. On to the next man, Aaron Clark.
Sell.
Look, yeah, well, they are all sells, brother. but
Yeah,
What's the reasoning?
But yeah, I just don't.
Bench.
I think we were all expecting more minutes for Aaron Clark, but 46
the bench
minutes.
half the game. And
Yeah, well, as soon as he got moved to the bench, I mean, I would have got him out of my team anyway. But
Yeah.
if you still got him, yeah, get rid of him.
Look, it's not like, he's got a dual eligibility, hook and mid. It's not like an urgent sell. He's break even. He got 33 points in Vegas, 38 break even this week.
it's not urgent.
It's not an urgent sell, but we just don't think that basically what the role that we thought he was going to get.
Well, if we're thinking
We
Fisher
don't think we're
Harris and
gonna get
Barnett
that.
playing more minutes,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
what's the
And you've also got
consequence?
someone very similar, like in Dylan Walker, that plays that sort of, ball playing lock position. I think the only thing in
Jeez,
Aaron
Webster
Clark's
needs to sort that team out.
the only thing in Aaron Clark's favor is if something happens to Wading and then he ends up playing hooker. That's
Well,
when something happens, you mean?
that's the only thing that I can think of. Look, this one is actually really sad. Munro, he was in a fair 11.8% of teams. He was looking really good, but he's broken his collarbone for the fourth time.
Is that a
Ridiculous.
big re-injury?
Must be.
It
right?
has
Or
to
is
be.
it botched surgery or something?
I think it's just a big re-injury. I don't think it's a botched surgery. I just think a bit
It's
of real
unfortunate.
poor
He
luck.
played well as well. in the
And
first
yeah,
half.
he was looking real. Look, he got 30 points.
2 tries.
30 points in a very solid effort from
Sure.
Munro.
We said that we harped on about this guy, Royce Hunt. Just his minutes aren't there. His output in those minutes,
He's not there.
half the time he's scrapping. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd sell him to a better cheapie that you've missed out on.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure I
like
said
if
on
you
the
want to
last,
go like
I
a
said on the
Hamish
last
Stewart.
potty, I bet you Royce Hunt gets 15 points and he got 15.
Yeah.
Well, we said who's going
15
to
and
make more
30
money,
minutes.
Payne Haas as or Royce Hunt.
Gee, he's in 20% of teams.
Yeah.
So
Haas
Royce,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's going to be down to like 1%.
And the last man, boys, is Jackie Bird. Look, edge and center. The good thing in Bird's favor is he actually did play 52 minutes, but was that I think that was increased due to the Seyfarth HIA.
Yeah, he was on the
He
edge
came
for a
onto
bit.
the edge.
As soon as Seyfarth passed his HIA, he went straight back on, and Bird, I think, maybe moved to the middle for the last little bit.
I don't think he's the worst hold.
He's not as
He's
urgent.
360.
He's not as urgent
No.
as the others, but yeah.
No, I think
should
Aaron
get
Clark
rated, so.
and Jack Bird aren't really like urgent sells. They're
And-
26 points. He's break even of 28. So I don't think it's really an urgent
I can
sell.
see-
There's just better options, in my opinion.
Never want to predict or hope for an injury, but I could see a reality where in a few rounds, everyone's getting Jack Bird in because someone goes
Someone's in,
down, he
yeah.
comes into the starting team.
Well, there's a
He'll be
real
relevant at
cheapest
some point.
chips.
for
There's
sure.
a real chance if like Finu or Seyfarth go down that he could
Yeah,
go
I
to
mean,
the
he's a
edge, even though
300K.
that he wants to go.
How's
even-
Seyfarth going to get injured when he doesn't get the ball? That'd be in defense.
Right. He could have gotten injured in
Injuries
all
happen
those
off the
50
ball.
meters he ran.
Very true.
But look, that's basically buy, hold, sell for round 2. Very in depth. With
Just quickly on Seyfarth. Sorry, Dor.
yeah.
So who's the hooker again? De Silva?
Well,
It was.
last
So he
weekend,
goes
De
for a
Silva.
massive run. You're like, finally. He gets the offload points, and then De Silva didn't make his way back in front of the play of the ball.
Yeah, it's
and then
extremely
later on in the game, they clash heads. De Silva's fine, and Seyfarth's still off. You're like, bruh.
Yeah, so literally everything went wrong for Seyfarth. And he got 20. He got 29. So
I think
yeah,
he's going to
a
score
strong
well.
hold.
Well, he was a strong hold.
Mick's
so-
predicting a 60.
If he doesn't get over 35, I'll join Bentley in the whatever he's doing.
Was he doing a
He
challenge?
said if Nicho doesn't get over 50, he's doing
Alright.
some type of challenge that
Okay.
everyone comments.
Yes, no. All right. Well, that's basically that's
Hopefully
a
no one
really,
listens to that.
really in depth buy, hold, sell podcast. Hopefully, that gives all the listeners and watchers a real good insight into the options for this week. This podcast will probably be out around tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, as well as hopefully the templates as well. We'll probably fine tune it to select probably around like 10 to 12 of these players for you guys, but feel free, make sure you subscribe, follow everything for our socials,
I just
our
realized
YouTube.
something, Dor. When you say tomorrow night, do you mean the night? Like when this is
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
it's going to be released Wednesday night.
Okay,
Wednesday
okay.
night,
Yeah,
which
got
is
ya.
tomorrow night. We're recording this
Just
Tuesday
quickly,
night. So.
I'd recommend selling Jazz Tavaga and Davi Moali. They're also a couple of sells.
Yeah.
Didn't even think of those. Yep.
No. Oh, well, thank you very much, Mick and Macca, for joining me. That is buy, hold, sell for round 2. We will see you next week.